Hello guys. So today we will be discussing about how to create the user accounts, okay, and how to create the roles, how to assign them to the various users, okay, all these things, user accounts, users. So yesterday we have discussed about the UI, right? UI interface, how does it looks and everything. So today we are going to create the users. So let's say like your organization took subscription for the service now and they want to create user accounts for each and every employee, right? So how to create a user in service now? So go to user administration and click on users. Okay. So here you can see already existing, these are all the existing users. So most of these are created by the ServiceNow itself. As this is a PDI account, we will be getting the demo data for practice purpose. Okay. So there are a lot of ways again to create the users. Okay. So this is today we are going to create it on manually. Okay. We can automate this process because in an organization, in a company, there might be like hundreds of people, thousands of employees working. So it's not easy task to create each and every employee account manually, right? Some sort of automation will be there. Okay, so for that we have a separate topic called scheduled data imports, data imports, where we get the data by external systems. Okay, so they get integrate and they create the accounts. That's a different topic. We will be discussing that in the upcoming sessions. So for today we will be creating the user accounts manually, right? So first of all, go to the application navigator and type user administration. Under the user administration you can see the users. Okay, so here these are all the users which are available currently in your instance. Okay, so now in order to create a new user, go and click new here, right? So here you need to give the user ID. First of all, let me say Rakesh, Raj. So first name is Rakesh, last name is Raj. You can give the title. This is called form. you know Whenever you give some sort of information, so whenever let's say for example, if you are going to apply a passport, right, you need to fill the form, right? So you need to give certain amount of information to the concerned officer, right? They give us a form. So whenever you are going to deposit some sort of money, earlier days, not now, in the bank, right, you need to fill the form. In the same way, whenever you are going to create a user, you need to fill the form with the details about the user, right? So here in our case we will be filling out all these details, right? It's next to impossible to create each and every employee details manually, right? So that's the reason we will be using the automation part. That's a different class we will be taking. So for now, the user ID, the first name, the last name, and if you have the title, okay, if you can get the suggestions like what are the titles that are available in your organization, you can pick it from here. Okay, for now I can say IT technician. Okay, you can search for the departments, like what are all the departments which are present. So he is from the IT department, I'm going to select it. So you can create various other departments as well, you can create various titles as well. Everything can be pretty much created. Okay, so for now, email ID I'm going to give rakesh at the rate gmail.com. Rakesh at the rate gmail.com. So the user ID is different and email ID is different, right? So you can add the photos, you can give the business phone number, all these details can be filled. For now, I'm just giving these details. Okay. So after giving these details, you can click on submit. So once submitted, the user has been created. You can search it here. You can give the first name, Rakesh. See, these are the details, right? So once you create this user, you can send an email notification. So email notification is a separate topic where you can send email notifications to the personal email IDs and everything. So once you create this, you can create a password. You can make certain changes. Suppose something is spelled wrong, typed wrong, right? In order to make certain changes, you can change it and you can update this. Okay. And you can create the password for this account. Set password and generate. So this is how it looks, and copy the password for now. Copy the password. Okay. And save password. Save it. So the password has been changed. So here if you see, if the can if the candidate, I mean the if the user is going to log in by using these credentials, he needs to change the password for the very first time. Okay, so now I'm going to sign out, log out from this user and trying to log in from Rakesh Raj user. Okay, Rakesh Raj. And the password is just now what we copied. Okay, login. See, it is asking to change the password. So this is going, see, once you create the user account will be created and an email notification can be sent to the concerned person. And for the very first time, if he is trying to log in into the ServiceNow account, he needs to change the password. Okay, current password needs to be copied here and you can give anything. So this is the authentication which you generally get. So this is hope you know guys, right? We already discussed about it. So just scan it by using your authenticator. You'll get it. So just give the number. It will ask you for a unique number. Once it is entered, then if you see here you logged in as a Rakesh Raj. So this is how you going to create users. Okay, manually, right? So once you get the data from the team, from the concerned HR team or whatever the team it might be. So once you get a data from them, what you are going to do? You are going to create a user. How? First you go to the application navigator and type user administration. Okay. Okay. These roles are not available. Okay. So this is a new one, right? So let me try to log in into my account currently. So I'm going to log out from here. Okay. I am going to ask, I know I'm going to start from here. So it asks me to log in again. So that's because I'll explain you in a shortly, like what is meant by role and everything. So this is how to create a user. Okay. 405528. Okay. So this is my instance. Okay. This is my Gautam's one. Okay. The earlier one which we have logged in is we created one, right, for Rakesh Raj. That's the instance which has been provided for the user Rakesh Raj. Okay, so it doesn't have all these roles. So as this user has been created by me, I should assign the roles. Then only he will be getting access to the application. Okay, so in order to create an account, we click on user administration and go to the users. Okay, and click on new, provide all the information and click on submit. That's it. The user can be created. So this is called form. So in the form you fill the data which has been provided by you. Okay. So this form can be entirely customizable based upon the company's requirement, based upon the organization requirement. So you can add lot of fields. So these are called fields, various fields. Okay. You can make these fields mandatory, like user id needs to be mandatory before submitting. Email id needs to be mandatory before submitting. Okay. Here, suppose if I'm adding a new employee, a new user into the service now, I can add a new field stating who is the manager of that particular employee. So pretty much this form can be completely customizable. So we will be discussing a separate class about form creation, how to build a new form entirely from the scratch. Okay, so for now this is how we create the users. Okay, now let's try to understand what is meant by groups. Okay, so group is nothing but a team. When you are working in any organization, you work in a team, right? So no one works independently. So most of the time you will be working in the teams. Okay. So let's say like if an organization has some 1,000 employees, for example, like 40 people are working in IT sector. Okay. So in the IT sector, again, there are admin team is separate and the developer team is separate and the testers are separate, right? And the sales department team will be completely different. So each and every employee will be working in a team. So here in service now, teams are nothing but groups. Okay, teams are nothing but groups. So as soon as a user has been created, he will be added into a particular group. Okay, so as soon as a user has been created, that user will be assigned, I mean added into a group. Okay, so every team is called a group here. Okay, every team is called a group. After logging into the service now, we need roles to access the application. Okay, here this is called roles, we'll be discussing shortly. So let's see how to create a group. So these are all the groups. There are close to 47 groups which are provided by the service now. This is all demo data. So if you see analytics settings manager, this is a separate group. App engine admins. So this is a separate group. So if you click on this group, okay, so you can see who are all the group members. So in this particular group, there are no, members. So roles we will be discussing shortly, right? So let's see like, let's go and see application development. So this is a separate group which is used for the application development. Okay. So here, if you see, there are close to 6 people, 6 users. Okay. In this particular group. Okay. So now let's see how to create a group. So go to the user administration in the application navigator and click on groups. This is the thing which will be getting in the content frame. So here click on new, click on new. So you can give like, what is the group name I'm going to give service now dev team. Okay, service now dev team. So you can give an email, you can select and give service now dev team at gmail.com if you have a particular email id for the group. Okay, so here every team has a manager, right? So wherever you go in IT, not only in IT, wherever you are working, you should definitely have a manager unless and until you are a boss of your own, right? So you can select the user. So for now I'm going to select like, Jamie. Jamie is the manager. So service now dev team, and I'm going to give the description. This team works on service now development. Okay. So this is the description. So let's say, if this particular group has any parent group, you know, if this particular group has an any parent group, that parent group can be linked here by using this parent option. Okay, just ignore it for for now and click on submit. Okay, the group has been created. Now go and click for text and search for the group ServiceNow Dev Team. So this is the team. I mean, this is the group which we have created currently, right? So this is how it's going to look. So now there are no group members in it. Let's try to add few people here, few users here. Okay. So if you want to create a new user and directly add them into the team, this is the way which you can use it. Okay. So just go to new and click on it. Then it will be routing it into the user's form. Okay, here you are going to give the user details and send an email notification to that particular new employee and add him into the group if he is a new employee. If he is an existing employee, just click on edit. If he is an existing employee, click on edit. So in this group I am going to add able tutor. Okay, and Rakesh we have created, right? Rakesh Raj, and let's write two more people, Alan and Andrew. Okay, and save it and save it. So click on edit. 1 second. See, so these are all the four group users for the ServiceNow Dev team. Okay, and the manager is Jamie, right? So this is how you are going to create add group members. So first of all, you need to create a user. Let's say like this. If your organization is using ServiceNow, so definitely each and every employee should has a ServiceNow account. So in order to have a ServiceNow account, we need to create a user in ServiceNow. Earlier we have seen like how to create the users, right? Now we need to add the users into the group. So if he is a new employee, okay, go and click on new tab here and you can directly create the user from this group and send a notification and ask them to add. Okay, this is one way if he is a new employee. And if you are an existing employee and you need to be added into a particular group, then you click on edit. Okay, click on edit and you add the employees here, add the users and click on save. So this is how you add the users into the group. Hope you guys understood, right? Now, after adding users into the group, we need to assign the roles. So, what is meant by role? So, roles are nothing but permissions. Okay. So, if you are an administrator, you can access pretty much everything. Okay. In the service now. Okay. So, if you are a manager for the IT department, you can access only which are related to IT department. You need not to go and access something which is related to sales department, right? And if you are a tester, you have some applications where you need to test, right? So you have only limited permissions. Okay, if you are a salesperson, okay, the permissions will be completely different, the roles will be completely different, right? So everything what you are going to do in service now, it is a role based model. So the roles will be assigned to the groups. Okay, then only you will be accessing the then only you will be accessing the application based upon the roles. Okay, so we need to give permission. So here what we need to understand, roles are nothing but the permissions which we are giving to the employees to access the application. Okay, roles are nothing but the permissions which we are giving to the employee to access the application. Okay, so one more thing guys, please do remember, in real time we do not assign any roles directly to the employee. Okay, so even though we can create a new user and assign the roles, it's not recommendable. For the best practices, we need to add the employee, add the user into any particular group, add the user into any particular group, and you need to give the roles to that particular group. You need to assign the roles to that particular group. Okay, so what we need to understand is, like ServiceNow dev team is there, right? One second. So ServiceNow dev team, this is a group. These are all group members. Like four people are there. And who is the manager? Jamie is the manager. So whatever the roles which you are going to assign to this group, so each and every person who are there in this particular group will be getting those roles, getting those permissions. Okay. So we never ever assign roles to an individual in ServiceNow. Even though we can assign, it's not a good practice. Okay. So suppose, let's say tomorrow, able tutor is going to leave the organization, right? So it would be hard for you to go and what kind of roles has been assigned to him, right? And remove him, each and every role. So rather than that, what you will be doing is, like, you will be coming into the particular group where this guy is working, and this remove him from the group, remove him from the group. So once the able tutor is removed from the group, all the permissions will be gone which the group is having, all the roles, I mean all the accesses to the applications, what are the privileges that are having for the able tutor will be gone, and rest of these three people will be still having those role accesses. Okay, so if you add any employee, any user into any group, so whatever the roles that group is having, all the accesses will come to that particular employee. Okay, and if you remove the person from that group, all the accesses will be gone to that particular user. Okay, so in order to go and check the roles, click on it. So these are all roles. Okay, action writer enabled, administrator, agent admin, agent workspace user, asia admin. So all these are roles. So in order to create a new role, you can just click on new and name service now developer role. I'm going to create it. So you give a short description, service now developer role, where they mm, okay. Just click on submit. So a new role will be created, right? So this is how you are going to create the roles. So now click on groups again and search for service now which we have created group, service now dev team. Now go to roles, click on roles and click on edit. So how to pass the roles to the group is, this is how you can do it. Okay, and I'm going to give admin roles. One second guys, and save it. So admin role has been given to this particular group. So what does it mean is all the people who are in this group will be having admin role. So all these people can act as an admins, okay, and make certain changes. They have various accesses, okay. So this is how what is meant by like user group and roles. So let me come again once again, like each and every employee in ServiceNow will be having, suppose let's come in this way, okay. So in an organization each and every employee will be having access to ServiceNow. In order to create a new ServiceNow account to a particular user, there are two ways. The first one is manual way and the second one is automation. So for today, we are going to discuss how to create a user manually. Okay. So for that, you go to the application navigator here and click on user administration. Once you click, then go to the users. Okay. Go to the users. Once it is done, you create the new user. Click on new, a form will be displayed. Okay, here you give the details of that particular user and you submit. A new user can be created. We can send an email notification to that particular user to create a new password and access the ServiceNow account. Once the user has been created, he should be added into any of the groups. Okay, so what is meant by group? Groups are nothing but a team. Okay, so each and every employee will be added into a particular team based upon his roles and responsibilities. Okay, so in order to create a new group, you can go into the user administration and click on groups and then go to the new tab and click on new. Then a form will be displayed. Here you are going to give the details of that particular group and click on submit. So a new group will be created, right? So after creating a new group, you are supposed to add the users into that group, right? So how we do that? One second. So this is the group which we created. Okay. So here if you go and see like group members. So if he is a new employee, you click on new tab here and you can create an employee user directly from here and ask them to join the group after changing his password. Okay. And if he is an existing user, click on edit and add the user and save it. So these users will be saved here. So these are all group members. Okay. So what is meant by role? So role is nothing but the permission which we are going to give to that particular user to access the ServiceNow account. Okay. So based upon the roles, he will be having privileges to access till what level the application. Okay, so these roles can be assigned to the groups. Roles will be assigned only to the groups, not to an individual. Okay, even though if we can assign to an individual, it's not a good practice. Okay, so whatever the roles that has been assigned to the group, all the people in that group will be getting the privilege of that particular role. Okay, so in order to give the roles to that particular group, click on groups, go to the roles and edit. Click on edit and select the group, select the role which you are going to act, give assign to that particular group and save it. So this will be displayed here. So who are all the members which are present in this particular group will be getting access as an administrator. Okay. So if you remove any person from this group like able tutor or someone, right? So this guy will be losing all the privileges which are, I mean, all the roles which are present in that group. Okay, so this is what it is meant by about users, groups, and roles. Okay, so for today, I am going to give a task. Okay, what is this task is each and every individual should create at least 7 users of any of your friends or family members. So create 7 users and add them into two groups. So in order to add them into the groups, you need to create the groups first of all, right? So create two groups and add them into two different groups. Okay, and create roles as well, like three roles, and assign, create four roles, and assign those roles to the groups. Uh, So create 7 to 8 users, any of your friends, okay, and create two groups, add those users into the groups, and assign four roles, create new roles, or else you can add the existing roles which are there in the service now, assign the roles to the groups. So this is the you know uh, task which I'm going to give to you guys today. So once it is done tomorrow, I'll be asking like what you have done and everything. So each and every individual should definitely show me. So this is it for today, guys. And tomorrow we are going to discuss more about the user administration, the list views and everything. Okay. So this is the task for today. Create the group users, create the groups, create the roles, add users to the groups and add roles to the groups, give them the permissions. Okay, so if you have any doubts or contacts, you can ping me and WhatsApp me. Okay, thanks for joining, guys. Thanks for attending the class today. Good day.